At the beginning of July, I decided to start creating weekly reflections where I could pour out my thoughts at the end of the week and get an idea of what happened and what I wanted to focus on going forward. I've been loving doing these reflections every single week, and I wanted to kind of expand on them by creating 2 spreads, my July review and August intentions, and I'm going to be sharing with you how I set both of them up today. I decided to create these spreads right before my August monthly pages, and this video will be a really nice companion to that video because after watching this one, you'll be able to see the full picture of everything I did to plan and prepare for the upcoming month, so I could be both mindful as well as productive and intentional with how I spend my time. So make sure to grab some tea, some slippers, a cozy blanket, not one of those weird uncomfortable ones, a nice cozy soft one, and let's all journal together. So to kick off this journaling session, I'm going in and setting up my July review spread. This is a spot where I like to get an idea of everything that happened in the month, so it kind of acts as a bit of a record or time capsule in that sense. But it also is a spot where I like to sit down and evaluate how I'm feeling right now, so I can get an idea of kind of how my energy levels are, where my mind is at, and all that stuff, so I can identify if there's any wellness focuses I want to carry on into August. So starting off with the time capsule process, I'm going to be asking myself, what are some cool things that happened in July? And for all these questions, I don't stress about, forgetting to include details or not getting down every single cool thing that happened. Instead, I just kind of like to let the important things come to my mind and just use this as a place to say, these are the things that I thought were cool right now, and there are probably cool things that I forgot about, but such is life, and it's not the point to get everything down. Also, something that really helps me with this question is I like to go back and reference my July 1 line a day spread. In this spread, I have a quick sentence summarizing highlights from each day, so it makes it really easy to go back and get a really good overview of what cool stuff happened in the month. And just like my weekly review, I'm going to mention that usually one of these things is food. For me this month, I discovered a new pasta recipe where you do everything in one pan, including boiling the pasta. You actually make it in the sauce. It's all in one pan. I'm not explaining that well, but I hope you get what I mean. And yeah, even though that's a small thing, it is still on my cool things list because this is a spot for all the cool things, whether they're small or large. I do not discriminate. The next thing that I'm writing down is what I learned this month. This month, I learned that the less I am on a screen and watching TV and YouTube and all that, the happier and more uplifted I feel. Next, I'm writing down my July wins. Now, I don't know if this is everyone, but for me, if I don't stop and really give myself a moment to pat myself on the back and look at what I did, I'll just focus on the next thing. So yeah, these July wins really help me ground myself in the present, and I think it's also really good to celebrate all the small things or big things that you've done. The next question is the last one in kind of getting an idea of what happened in July, and this is, what have I left on the back burner? And for this one, I encourage you to take your self-critic out of your head and throw that little bugger across the room. I know it's hard, and I get in my head about this sometimes too, but the purpose of this is to identify these things so then I can focus on the next month and not forget about them entirely. So thinking about it that way helps me. But yeah, rant over there, for my self-judgmental people and people who are really critical, I got you, I feel for you, and I am here to help and provide as many insights as I can. After going over things that happened in July, I'm now transitioning into checking in on my mental and physical health so I can get an idea of where I'm coming from and kind of my state going into August. I really like to check in on both my mental and physical health because while I think a lot has been said for why it's important to check on ourselves mentally, but it's especially important to me to check on myself physically because I do work out a lot and I want to make sure that I'm really in tune with my body so I can avoid injuries. Now we are coming into the final part of the July review, This is just something I like to do for fun, and I had room, so I figured why not just throw it in there. This is my currently section, where I like to write down what I'm currently kind of consuming, shall we say. So everything I'm currently reading, watching, and playing on my Nintendo Switch. These are just kind of the areas of content that I like to consume, but of course, if you're making this spread for yourself, you can definitely modify based on what you really like to watch or read, or I don't know, maybe you like to do other stuff that I just can't think of right now. And I will mention here, if you guys feel up to it, I would absolutely love to hear what you are up to and consuming right now, because I'm always looking for ideas, especially in the book department, because I really love reading in my spare time. So yeah, I would love if you did share that, and I'll share my things first to kind of get the ball rolling. In this month of July, I read Better, Smarter, Faster. I'm currently rewatching Lucifer, and I'm playing Skyward Sword HD. And here's a look at the completed July review. It's only a page, and even though we whipped through a bunch of questions, this really does not take very long. It only took me about 10 minutes. I think the trick to not taking too long on this is not kind of finding every single detail and answer for every single question. I like to have kind of 2-3 points per question and not spend too much time on everything, so that it is a bit of a faster process. But if you want to make it longer, you can definitely go ahead and do that. I'm just a bit impatient with my journal, and I don't like to make really long, laborious spreads, so I just know making things quick works really well for me and helps me stay consistent. Now I'm moving on to my August intentions. And for this page, I'm going to keep it pretty short, and I'm only going to ask myself 3 questions. The first one is, what am I looking forward to in the upcoming month? I think this is really important to list, in addition to figuring out what you want to focus on and what kind of big projects you want to smash out in the month, because I think it's important while figuring out our priorities to also figure out what we actually want to enjoy and kind of do in the month, so that we can have a bit of balance between work and life. Balance is always something I'm working towards, and it's always a learning experience, but I think by taking the time to think about both, we're kind of setting that precedent to prioritize both. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, the second question is, what are my August intentions? Some of these intentions are very work related, like I want to create a savings plan and save up for Final Cut Pro finally, because I've been editing on iMovie for 3 years now and I really want to upgrade. And some of them are really kind of personal, like I want to stretch every day because I've been feeling very tight lately. Also, I listed a couple fun things at the bottom I want to do. I want to go to this gelato place in Toronto that I really love called Dolce. And also, I want to visit the set where they filmed Schitt's Creek, because it's also really near Toronto, which is awesome. Also, something I am looking forward to doing in the month of August is being able to eat outside at restaurants and patios. Although they've been open in Toronto for a little while now, it was really hard to find a reservation, because everyone I think was just so excited that they were open and wanted to get as much food from other people as possible. So yeah, it's been a little crazy, a little hectic, but now it's slowing down a bit and I can finally manage to get a reservation without waking up at weird hours of the night, so I'm really looking forward to eating out in a couple of places. I'll also quickly mention here, in case you didn't notice and want to do decoration, what I thought would be cool for decorating both these spreads was to use kind of my July theme and collage along those lines on my July review. And then I thought it'd be cool to kind of flip the script and switch it up for August. And since it's for my August intentions, I made the collaging on this spread reflect the theme for my August setup. So that's why I'm switching from, the nature themed craft paper part to now the floral branch with the gray washi tape. But of course, if you're not into collaging, girl, just throw that out. You don't gotta do it. I just like to do what I like. Doing a little bit of collage makes me really happy, and I love to sit down and do collages like this while watching, different shows. Right now I've been loving collaging while watching RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 3, so that's kind of the vibe I like to set when getting creative in my journal. Look at the time, we're done. That is the 2 spreads that I set up. I know we only did 2 spreads, but I feel like there was a lot of content and information going into these guys. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of both the July review as well as the August intentions. If you have any questions you like to ask yourself during your monthly review and want to share them below, absolutely would love to hear it. And besides that, I hope you all enjoyed the video and got some ideas for how to be mindful but also productive in the upcoming month. And yeah, I believe that is all from me. I will see you guys all in the next video, and until then, stay safe and I'll see you later.